do it for you. I do it for you, and especially you.
Hello, welcome back. Full crowd, live audience. The energy in here is electric.
Booming.
I'm Dylan,
I'm Kevin.
and this is
Sense of Direction.
Okay.
Drum roll.
Woo. Kevin, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about the minimum wage and how it affects your life and all of our lives.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know much about the minimum wage before today?
Yes, because I made it whenever I was in high school.
Yes.
And it sucked.
I've worked a couple. Yeah. I got a raise on one of them from $7.25 to
$7.50.
Yeah, it was like $7.
Yeah. I will say that I remember getting my first check and being like happy that I made $300 in 2 weeks.
Honestly, I think I was kind of bummed with my first paycheck. I was like, "What the fuck?"
You're like, what?
Like I thought I would have had more money, but I was in high school. I was just happy to have money in general.
Yeah. Same.
So, what does that mean? How does it affect your life?
Well, I mean, minimum wage basically means how much money you're going to have. Like, you get a job, this is how much they're going to pay you. So that's how much money you're going to have in your pocket. So as a young adult, you'll probably be thinking, where am I going to live? What am I going to do? These are things that I had to deal with. I haven't moved out of Oklahoma, but I need to know what I got in my pocket before I do that. So that's kind of how it affects, your life.
Yeah. I think, I have been someone who's really wanted to get out of Oklahoma for my whole growing up. And then, you graduate college and life happens. And then I've been here and I'm like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was. But I think it still would be nice to leave. Honestly, I've made peace with, now that I have a house, of like, at least for the next couple of years, just like work on travel budget and like keep the house, and then later in my life maybe I'll have more flexibility to like work and travel.
That's a dream.
I think that is the dream. But social media kind of glamorizes expensive city as I always see content about people like just I'm moving to LA or I'm moving to New York. I'm starting my dreams. And I love that. I really hope that works out for them, but sometimes that's not the case for a lot of people.
Yeah, you never really know how much money people actually got.
Yeah. And it's telling from what the minimum wage is set in your state, like what the cost of living is in that state. So I think that's kind of where we're getting into today.
Yeah, because we don't plan on working at minimum wage forever, That tells you a lot about the state's economy, cost of living, job market. So you see these people going out to LA, New York, or whatever, like they might have big bucks and you might not. So like you got to know if it's realistic. And what the minimum wage actually tells you, sorry, a high minimum wage often is responsible for a high cost of living. So like and I've done the research, like I can make like $30 an hour in New York City and like, that's amazing. But like the cost of living in New York City is like $3K for like a closet, So I'd say the minimum wage is a good gauge on like the state.
And and there are different websites like that are free that you can do like a cost of living analysis. You can put in like the industry that you work in, the type of job that you have, the rate that you're working now versus the rate that like where you would want to move. Like what would be the rate that you would need to like live there. So because $20 an hour in LA can feel worse than $14 an hour in Oklahoma. I feel like Oklahoma is one of the I don't really remember where we fall in the rank, but I feel like I always kind of hear it as like we're a little bit on the lower side of like
minimum wage or cost of living.
Just on cost of living.
Definitely lower. That's the whole reason my family moved here, like from California, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, cost of living is
But back in the early 1900s, workers often worked 12 to 16-hour days.
Where did this guy
I don't know. I just saw the 1900s and
Yeah.
I was like,
There's
I
gonna be
gotta
a
go.
tumbleweed, like,
I'm
falling
hearing,
flowing through right
what's
now.
his name? Is it Sam with the big mustache? He does the Western. Okay. Child labor was
Yeah.
common.
Yeah.
Factories paid extremely low wages, and there were almost no worker protections. They were like, "Can you do this thing? Great, get in there,
Yeah.
bye. We
Yeah.
need butts and
They're
seats
like,
to."
"Get up on that 30-foot skyscraper with no harness, and here's
Yeah,
25 cents."
yeah.
Um, and then came the Great Depression in 1930. Massive unemployment, businesses cutting wages aggressively, workers struggling to survive, literally. And then this pushed the government to step in. Good old Uncle
Yes.
Sam.
President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the I don't know what I'm doing with the accents today. Fair Labor Standard Acts in 1938, which, yeah, 8 years after the Great Depression kind of started.
Mhm.
It created the federal minimum wage, overtime pay, because that was not a thing back then, restrictions on child labor, and then kind of created today's 40-hour work week standard. I do think in my research they kind of had it at like 44 to 48 hours, like it was almost 50, but then
Mm.
over the time, like we all just
Yeah.
serve 40 even,
We're
because
like,
that's kind of where we're at today.
yeah. Unless you're my coworker, Marco, he works 80 hours a week.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
but then the Fair Labor Standard Act of 1938 also established the original federal minimum wage of 25 cents an hour.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty, which is in today's economy, $5.88. This is eh,
I mean, 25 cents an hour. I mean, people seem to feel like that was fair. I mean, I kind of hear things of back then of like, oh, you get like a milk jug for like 5
I also
cents or
feel like back then they
something,
had good bartering systems. I don't
Yeah.
think we have that anymore. Yeah,
Although it's coming back. I've
I
seen
guess you're
videos,
right.
yeah. But this was kind of optional for states. After the Fair Labor Act was created, some people argue that the federal government did not have the power to control wages and labors nationwide. But in 1941, the Supreme Court ruled that the law was constitutional, saying that Congress could regulate working conditions for businesses involved in interstate commerce.
Mm,
So, loopholes, loopholes, loopholes. But at the end of the day, we had already had the federal minimum wage set, so at least there was kind of a baseline. There
yeah,
weren't, but it is still kind of chucked to the
yeah.
state level because
And it goes
it
back to,
is.
again, it goes back to like what we were saying earlier about all the things that affect the minimum wage. Because every state has, different housing costs, different taxes, different job markets, different populations, different economies. Um, yeah, that all goes into play. You know, and also like I feel like super rural areas have like a good cost of living and good like community. I feel
Yeah.
like I think that's why that's kind of what Oklahoma's like. I feel like in my head
Yeah.
compared to LA.
Well, like with bigger cities, it's I feel like a little bit harder maybe to find communities because like everyone's kind of in their own bubble of doing
Yeah,
stuff. Like I feel like in New York, like everyone's on their own time. Like people always talk about like everyone's just like walking fast and like not really talking to people
yeah,
because they got their own stuff to do.
yeah.
But the top four states with the highest minimum wage are going to be Washington, D.C. at 17.95, Washington State at 17.13, Connecticut at 16.94, and California at 16.90. That kind of surprised me because I kind of just assumed California would be kind of like up there because I hear
Yeah.
about it a lot. Like they're always kind of talking about it. And then there are 20 states that match the federal minimum 725 in 2026. Like,
Pretty sure Oklahoma's one of them. I'm
you
hearing that
think
it's
so?
going up. I
Yeah.
heard it's going up, but I'm pretty sure we've been at that for a
Yeah.
cool minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, to put it in perspective, an employer with staff in both Washington and Texas pays a minimum cash wage of $9.88 an hour, more for the Washington worker than for the Texas worker performing identical work.
Because it's just way more expensive in Washington.
Yeah. I mean, you could be flipping burgers for $18, so.
Yeah. So with that being said, your income means nothing without context. So it might sound a bit better to, oh, I'm getting paid $19 an hour or something, but your housing's more expensive, your electric is more expensive, transportation's expensive, your healthcare is more expensive, your groceries are more expensive. Like all of these things kind of you have to figure out how those go. Especially when you're moving somewhere, like you should be thinking about these things, like how are you getting to work?
Yeah.
Do you have a car? Like what is gas? Like, are you going to get a roommate? Are you gonna try to buy property? Like all of these things you need to kind of plan out for, because I think it's fun to just be like, oh, I want to move to this state.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and sometimes people do it and it works out and that's awesome, but most people kind of need to have a little bit more structure, especially with their finances, to be able to like set themselves up for success when they get there, and not just like, you know, couch surf around new people that they just met.
Although that sounds fun,
It does sound fun.
we're not recommending that. This podcast is all about planning, preparation, research.
Yeah, we want you to have fun, but like we also want you to be safe.
Yeah.
So.
Some things you should ask yourself is if you're thinking about moving, obviously you hopefully have a career or have something that's going to sustain you that you can give to somebody, then they're going to give you money for. So what you want to ask is, where can this career realistically support me? Like what cities have the best opportunities? What are the starting salaries? And could I afford housing there? And that's something I've been kind of looking into too, just because I do eventually want to move. And like it does play a big role in like kind of either steering me away from like East Coast or West Coast, kind of like dialing down, being realistic if I can actually live there. It's important to ask these things.
Yeah.
You don't want to go in blind. Gotta be realistic. It's okay to dream. I mean, you want to dream.
Yeah.
We're all about dreaming.
Yeah, and it's also like super okay to be like, okay, well, I know eventually I want to move to this state and I'm in this state over here. What
Almost
can
like
I do in the next 15 years,
yeah,
or
maybe it's
whatever,
like
10
a
years?
1 year, 3 year, 5 year,
Yeah.
10-year goal. Whoa.
Kind of like we have that episode of like
Goal setting.
goal setting. And honestly, it is super useful to like take your biggest goal
Mhm.
and work backwards and see like what realistically are the steps that I have to take to get to this big goal, versus like I see the big goal, I'm right here, filling in the gap or filling in that distance can be scary sometimes, because you're like, well, I'm just right here and this is way over there.
Yeah. Basically, things take time.
Yeah. Some things you could consider are maybe doing some like research of like on the industry that you're in or the type of job that you're in, like what states have like the best like conditions, or maybe like if you're an electrician, like is there a
Mhm.
state that's like actually we really need electricians and like so
Honestly,
we're
any
paying
big
a
city.
lot because we don't have enough, or see where your market is at.
Yeah.
And then if you see a city or a state that is a little bit more saturated with what you personally can do, either figure out a way to become number one,
Yeah.
or maybe see a state that is less saturated that could also have the things that you want. Because I think when looking for a place to like live, it's not just about your career. Like obviously that's
Yeah.
a really important part, because like that is tied to your income, and like without your income you can't really be doing the things that you want for your life. But like the things that I think about, like my cons for Oklahoma is that I don't like that there is not a lot of like outdoor space. Like we have a
Yeah.
few, we have a handful, and I've been to all of them multiple times throughout my life. And I just wish there was something else like I visited my sister for her graduation, and they just had walking trails and walking trails
Yeah.
and lakes and parks and hiking trails and
We
this
kinda
and that, you know, like,
kinda
and I
flat
just
out
want
here.
that. Yeah. I like seeing trees. I
Yeah.
like being with nature, and I wish we had more of that in our
Well, the good thing is that we have lifted
time.
trucks.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We can go mudding.
Yeah, we can go mudding.
That's outside. Technically. I've actually never been.
You're not missing much.
I'm scared
I
because
accidentally went yesterday, actually, but I'll save that for another day.
accidentally.
Yeah. Something to consider. Sorry to
Just
cut you
don't
off.
forget it.
Don't forget what?
No, don't forget this last part.
Something to consider is lifestyle inflation. People move to expensive cities and spend more time eating out, spend more on social activities, and then just spend more just to fit in. You know, I'm all about like the free market. You know, like
Mhm.
just the markets. Like I like going out and just looking at things, and I never really buy anything.
Yeah. Like today, outside of our giant studio audience, there's
Yeah.
a little festival going on that has a few streets blocked off. But these events happen all the time. One thing for Oklahoma is that we have a couple like social pages that post like the events that are happening like around town for the weekends and stuff. So yeah, look at that.
You're digging.
Just kind of do research, you know, like it sounds so fun to be like, okay, when I'm 18, like I'm gonna just pack my bags and I'm gonna move to New York because like I had that dream once, and then you know I went to OU and kind of
What?
stayed around in Oklahoma.
Not missing much.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it honestly. I think it's a little like it's fun to go for a few days.
It's definitely fun. When I was in New York, I had a blast.
Yeah.
But
they say like sometimes
nobody called me darling out there. Nobody held the door open for me. Nobody had lifted trucks.
That's what you're looking for.
That's all I look for. Lifted trucks.
No sweet tea, I imagine.
They didn't have sweet tea either.
So yeah, just kind of do your research and think of these things when you're making a plan.
Yeah, I would go back to the goal setting episode. I feel like that's a good starting point.
Yep.
You know, because that encompasses like the career you want to have, which is going to affect the minimum wage or the wages you make, and then the goals you want to set for yourself, which is going to determine where you want to live or where you want to spend, you know, a good portion of your life. Like, I'd go back to that episode.
Yeah.
Signing off.
I was gonna say something else.